It's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Oh yeah, we're in here. We are live. We are live for show 182 of this week's Flippinar. It's been a couple of weeks. Nobody's fault but mine. So we got a full house. Adrian couldn't be here tonight, but we got one of the other team members here with us, Jessica. A lot of you all are used to hearing her on the daily lives. So, she's gotten good at that. So AP should be back next week. But what's going on, Miss Williams?
Hi, lovely. Everything is great. Super excited to be back.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, hey, it was a struggle to get here today. I was doing some other personal stuff. I was going to make it happen today. It would even have to just be me. So, but I appreciate you ladies showing up to help put this on and give the people what they want. They've been asking if we still doing these or whatever. Oh, yeah, we're still doing it.
Well, it's been 2 weeks. Y'all trying to figure out we still going. Come on now.
So, guys, make sure you like this. And I just learned this 2 days ago. When you like something, I've been on YouTube probably since 2007. But when you like something, it automatically goes into your library and easy for you to go back and access it. Like a lot of times people say, I can't find that video I watched, blah, blah, blah. So if you like it, now you can go to your library on your phone. Most people watch this stuff on their phone, and then under your like video, boom, there I am. So any of my videos that you watch and you like or whoever, they'll be right there to easily access for future reference. So plus I would recommend that you share this. If you think someone wants to get in the game, want to change their financial situation, we're giving a lot of free information that'll do that. So with no further ado, we'll go ahead and turn it over to Jessica. So you're not agreeing as you were the last time you did this. You're an expert now. So what's up?
I don't know about expert. Okay, I'm trying to keep up. I got a lot of questions already. All right, this one's from Christian on YouTube. He said, what is earnest money? It's a fair question.
It's a good question, Christian. I think it's a question if you are in this business, it's something that is part of every transaction. And from my definition of it, it is your way of saying, it's your way of securing that contract or putting earnest up, and which is pretty much your word and your bond to be able to execute that contract. So earnest money is part of almost every transaction, and it helps secure your contract to execution. But I know Ty has more of a definition.
Yeah, I could pull up the actual definition of it. Let me get over here to the old Google, and we'll give you, which I always recommend people do that themselves, not to be being funny here. Earnest money deposit. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let's see here, share screen, boom, bam. All right, so here we are. Let me remove that banner. Let me do the full thing here. All right, so earnest money is essentially a deposit a buyer makes on a home they want to purchase. A contract is written up during the exchange of the earnest money that outlines the conditions for refunding the amount. Earnest money deposits can be anywhere from 1% to 10% of the sales price, depending mostly on the market interest. All right, in a nutshell, it's basically saying I'm gonna put up some money to let you know if I'm serious or not. That's basically what it is. And if I don't buy it, you keep it. So people say, what's your get out of jail clause? That's it. That the earnest money deposit is basically, if I don't buy it, you keep my money. That's it. Now they say, well, you can be sued for anything because you got lawyers out there that'll take any case, but you're legally on the right side of the law. But it doesn't mean you can't be sued. If someone's willing to pay the money to an attorney to pursue it, then so be it. But legally, you're on the right side of the law or whatever. But the purpose of the earnest money is basically saying, hey, I'm serious about buying this house. And if I don't, you keep the money. You go your way, I go mine. Period.
Basically.
All right.
Basically. Yeah. If you want to join us live, guys, you can text the number, I got it up here somewhere. The 205.
It's going on the ticker.
Yeah, it's on the ticker. So if you see it on YouTube, but and Facebook, if you want to join us live, get pushed to the front of the line. Text us at the 205-964-5243. You'll go to the front of the line with your questions and give you an opportunity to ask multiple questions.
All right. Jonathan from YouTube said, what is your biggest assignment fee? I guess what has been your biggest assignment fee?
You want to go first, Nikki?
I take that. I think one of my biggest assignment fee was apartment complex. And I didn't even make that much money on it, but it was about $54,000.
Okay. My biggest assignment fee, I've never done a 6-figure assignment fee. The biggest I've ever done on one deal, I think, is $89,000. Still searching for that 6-figure.
Mm-hmm. Which is very doable.
Oh,
in the right market.
Oh my God, yes.
Like a California market,
Oh, yeah.
a New York market.
Definitely.
It's very doable.
And if you pursue enough apartment deals, that'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Because you can easily get in the high 6 figures as far as the total sales price of it, or in the 7 or even 8 and up. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely in multifamily or just commercial in general. So
right.
All right. Underscore B Bree from YouTube, from Instagram said, how much sales experience do you need?
I mean, I wouldn't say you need sales experience, but I think sales experience as a whole, if you are in business, this is just a necessity and a skill set that we all should have if we just in business, because business is sales. But I think it definitely helps, but it's not one of them things. If I don't have it, I can't, find a house and negotiate a house. I think, it is more so it's just your ability to be able to talk intelligently about what you're trying to do, intelligent about the house, put it on the contract and things of that nature. But I would say sales experience is a requirement to be successful. But it's definitely helpful. You're running a business. And I want us to understand this as a business and not flipping paper and not, a hustle. This is a business, and part of business is selling your interest in your contract to your end buyer. But what I love about is the levels to selling. Sometimes you got to sell something because it's something people don't need. It's something people don't want. You got to oversell something. But I think houses, if you position the right house and in front of the right people, it sells itself.
Yeah, it definitely can hurt to have that experience and actually be good at it, because at the end of the day, we're all being sold something, whether that's in a relationship, men are always selling themselves. Hey, I'm the one for you, baby, or whatever. That's a sales job at its finest. I guess it can be in the reverse. A woman can say, hey, I'm the one for you, or whatever. We're all being sold at all times, right? And so, but actual business sales, of course, is what we're talking about. Having the ability to good salespeople, exceptional salespeople, basically are individuals that make you believe what they believe. Mm-hmm. And that's a skill. Some people are born with that. Some people are trained to be that. The people that are born with it, normally they just got it. Normally it goes with what quote unquote the gift of gab or whatever. And it can definitely be a plus or whatever. You obviously need to know how to turn it on and turn it off, and do more listening than talking in a lot of situations. Because I have seen people that quote unquote are good salespeople, especially in this line of work, you'll talk yourself right out of a deal or whatever. So, but in most cases, it's going to be to your benefit if you're a great salesperson. But the great thing about it, you don't have to be a great salesperson. You'd be terrible at it and still make a significant living in real estate. That's one of the great things about it. That's what has attracted it attracted me to it and allowed me to be able to do decent in it. So, but yeah, it's definitely a plus.
All right.
It's a plus, but not a must.
Plus, but not a must.
All right, Mr. Singleton from YouTube said, "How should I start wholesaling? He's on a tight budget, but will spend the cash. Do you recommend prop stream or driving for dollars first?"
Well, I just put out a video today, who owns that vacant house, and basically I was going through the PropStream app, and I did show a free option also. So if you just go watch that more recent video, which I was going to mention it later on, but I put the banner up when we first started. Who owns that vacant house? That's the title of the video that I did today, and you can check that out. And I really go through it. So, but you don't have to go about it that way. I did show a free version of it, but it's just not going to have all the bells and whistles that the tool will have itself. So,
all right. This one's from Walter Davis. He said, when dealing with the subject to, how can you secure the property so the bank can't use the due on sale clause?
Well, you can't prevent that in the sense if that deed transfers, they're in legal right in most contracts, from my understanding, that they can execute the due on sale clause. You're just going to have to get over that. That's always a possibility if you're doing something, period. You're going to understand, but in most cases, they have no reason to call you on it, because what banks are more interested in interest. And making those payments on time. If you're making payments on time, there's no reason for them to pull it. But again, they do have the legal right to do it, according to most mortgages that that the borrower has signed or whatever. So just understand it's always a possibility. Ain't nothing you can do about that or whatever. That's part of what they signed up for.
Right, 100%. There's nowhere around that. Just make those payments on time. No one's looking for you.
No one's looking. They have no reason to look.
They have no reason to look for you.
So this is a related question from Humble One on TikTok. He said, have you ever done a subject to, and do you recommend them?
What do you say?
Have you ever done subject to, and would you recommend them?
I would say I have been a part of the transaction from a realtor standpoint, but I never took on a subject to property.
Okay, go ahead.
And I would recommend it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about strategies. If I find a house and that's the perfect strategy for that house, then that's just what you go with. Sometimes it's just the strategy. And no other strategy makes sense for that property. So it's not something I'm looking for. But it's one of those things. It's like, know your strategy when you need it. But I don't personally go out to subject to. But I know people that do, and it works for them.
Yeah, it can be definitely a great exit strategy. As she said, it's really not my thing or whatever. It's not my lane or whatever. But some people, that's their first option, is to get a subject to, because they basically are getting ownership of a property, and I'm assuming they're doing that to produce some cash flow, by renting it out or owner financing it back out or whatever, to produce cash flow. So that's going to be up to you and what your goals are, so.
Right.
All right. Louis Sosa said, what's the best skip tracing site?
Well, I'm of course affiliated with one, which is Skip Vault, but you can access it through my site. Is Skip to Flip. So I don't know if I can say it's the best, but I use it. So there you go. Skip to Flip.
Skip to Flip. Skip to Flip.
You're asking McDonald's who has the best hamburger.
Right. Skip to Flip, baby.
What do you want me to say?
Okay, this one's from Anthony Wilkes. He said, when dealing with an agent, how would you go about the offer price? I guess, how would you negotiate with that?
I'm assuming you're dealing with a realtor. It's the same way. I mean, your offer is just your offer. You don't have to worry about paying a realtor fee. That completely gets paid by the seller. So your offer price should vary because you're dealing with a realtor. Maybe your strategy and your exit strategy and the way that you structure your deal may vary if you're dealing with a realtor, because you most likely want to do more of a double closing when you're dealing with a realtor, but your offer price shouldn't really vary if you're dealing with a realtor. What do you think, Tom? Look at that.
What was the question? I'm sorry. When dealing with an agent, would you go about the offer price? I guess that means would you go about it differently? Yeah, it's still going to boil down to the numbers work. Just understand when you're dealing with a real estate agent, there's some hurdles and some hoops you're normally going to have to deal with. The agent, the way they make money, the more the house sells for, the more they make. Guess what? The cheaper you get the house, the more you make. You all are just off the top at a
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So assuming you just like those baggage when they reversed on each side, they go the opposite way of each other. So if you could jump through that hurdle, boom. Now they're gonna want $1,000 earnest money deposit. If you could jump through that hurdle, boom. They're gonna want proof of funds. If you jump through that hurdle, boom. so there are easier deals out there, my man.
Yeah.
If you're talking about wholesaling, there are easier deals out there. Not saying it can't be done with real estate agents, but you need to know what you're doing. If you're asking that question, you probably don't need to be fooling with it.
Yeah. Go find your deals directly from the seller and the homeowners.
Oh yeah.
That's where you're gonna get the best deals.
Oh yeah. The decision maker.
Okay, Outcast _ on Instagram wants to know, do you know of any wholesale friendly attorneys in Atlanta?
Boom, you got the right person on the land, baby.
I mean, everybody, Metley and Associates, Hopper and Lyman. Yeah, those are two good ones.
Okay. This one's from Instagram. It says, do you have any advice on hiring someone to place signs out for you?
Well,
would you place signs out?
Well, we got fortunate because my man LaBrie, he was already doing it.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and this is the first time it's worked out for me.
Yeah.
Out of, you know what I'm saying? So,
and he was on live one day.
Yeah, he was on live, and I just put it out there or something. I just put it out there. He was
like, I already do it.
He already do it. I already had seen his sign. So, and he was just putting signs where I would put mine at. You know what I'm saying? I knew he knew what he was doing. And so he's done a great job, you know, whatever. You know, I had somebody hit me up yesterday, another investor, like, man, y'all got signs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He said he can't turn nowhere and we don't have signs or whatever. And so
I saw his yesterday.
Hey, them signs work. You know, we're very virtual right now, but when we first started, signs was our Instagram post. You know, don't get so virtual where you forget to put out your signs, because that really, really works, you know.
Yeah, but to answer his question, Renikia, you got to get somebody that cares about doing it, right? It's hard to just pay someone to do it that doesn't have any skin in the game, right? You may not physically want to do it. I get it. So what I would recommend you do, at least drive the person around. And plus that makes it more productive and more easier and faster. You can put out a lot more, because a lot of times it may be a great place to place a sign, but it may not be anywhere to park that's close. Now, if you all are tag teaming, you can just drop them off with the sign. You may have to circle around, do a U-turn and come back or whatever until they're done or whatever. It allows you to put signs in a lot of different areas and to do them a lot faster or whatever. So I don't know. Renika may have a better way.
I mean, I remember I have paid someone to put out signs before. It was this guy. He was the marketing guy. He made the signs, and he had this service where he'll put them out too. But I can honestly say I don't know if he was putting them signs out or not. I wasn't getting a lot of calls, so I don't know if that really worked. I don't know if that worked. He sent me like 4 or 5 pictures. I gave him 100 signs though, so I don't know if he was put out 100 signs. I didn't get a lot of calls. So I mean, I really think you just got to go and put in that work, you know, and make sure your sign's going up, because trusting people with 100 of your signs. They may put out 10 or 15, and
Yeah.
you wonder why you're not getting calls, but you don't pay them from 100 signs. You know, yeah, I would definitely probably do the tag team method and just get out there and just put the work in.
And we're open to suggestions. And anybody
Right.
got a method out there that they figured out, you may not want to give it away, but we're here to
But
share.
sometimes you can get like these young people, like the younger these people are, they want to learn this real estate. They just don't have the money, but they got the legs, they got the energy, they can do all these little things you don't want to do as you show them how to get into real estate. So, you know, maybe you have to find some young mentees who want to learn the game. You can teach them that marketing and show them, you know, what to do, you know, but I think what really works is you just going up there putting out your own signs. But
oh, somebody wants to get on there. Okay, let me send the link here. T Arnold, I'll send you the link here. What I supposed to say to him, Jessica?
Make sure they have their camera and mic on.
Okay. All right.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm gonna ask the next one. This is from DeQuest Parker. He's always on in the morning. He said, "What are the best days and times to go driving for dollars?"
I mean, I think the key to driving for dollars is you looking for vacant properties. You know, I mean, you can see vacant properties. You know, I would think during the day, because you're looking for vacant properties, you're looking for property that look like they're boarded up. Not saying you can't see these properties at night, but you also got to write down the address of the properties and things of that nature. So I don't think it's a time, but during the day, it just make more sense. Since you need to be looking for vacant properties, looking for boarded up properties that just look vacant, properties, and then you need to be able to look at the numbers on the mailbox so you can write down the address. So I just think during the day just make more sense.
I tell you, when I was early on in the game or whatever, and someone called me because you just be so excited on any lead you get or whatever, and it came and when it just got dark, and the what I call them, little chick. The
little chick.
Chick I was dating
You
at
got
the
a
time.
bad story about that little chick.
And then I was dating at the time. We got in the car, went and looked at it, and just all excited. Then when I went back out there the next day and looked at it, it was not what I thought it was. You know, you need to do it in the daytime, just period. Just period.
All right. This one is from Paris Christina, the investor on Instagram. She said, I'm on a very tight budget while trying to find leads. How many leads would you recommend to buy starting off? So what kind of ways would you market if you're on a tight budget starting off?
I think Ty has a great concept. If you have $1,000 or less, $500 or less.
Well, let's start with zero. Okay, well, we're gonna start with zero. Ideally, what you'll want to do is, and Renikia has always said this from the beginning. It took me a minute to get it. You know, some horses are just, you can lead them to the water and they be thirsty, they still won't drink it. Right. It's easier just to wholesale other wholesalers' properties.
Absolutely.
Right? And so ideally what you'll want to do is just build you a 4, maybe a 3, 5, 10 if you could do it, but 3 to 5 just strong buyers, right? You can eat well off of that, and it'll allow you to do other forms of marketing or whatever. Because if you can network, just start networking at real groups, going to auctions. I'm talking about not spending any money, getting into Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, or whatever, and just find you 3 or 4 or 5 strong buyers. You can drive for dollars instead of driving for dollars looking for actual houses. You're driving for dollars looking for people that are doing renovations, right? An ideal thing that you're really looking for is a dumpster along with the renovation. That's almost guaranteed that's an investor, right? So you'll get out and introduce yourself, let them know, hey, you're going to have more houses in this area. And would they like more houses? Even if the person there that's actually funding the deal, the actual investor, and only contractors or workers are there, you still want to introduce yourself and give them your contact information. But for them, that's more work if they're the person that's paying them is buying more houses. And so you want to let them know to reach out to you or whatever. That's one way. So auctions, driving for dollars or driving for cash buyers, obviously networking online as much as possible in any Facebook group, LinkedIn group, looking for real estate investors. So you only need 3 to maybe 5 of those. And now you're just going out there searching for what they're looking for through other wholesalers. That's a zero way of doing it. Now, if you want to spend $100, right, you could text the word cash to the 205-964-5243, and you'll see a video that I spent on how you can actually build a quick cash buyers list what am I trying to say here? Dealer, aka PropStream. As a matter of fact, let's just do this. We're here. That's a good question, and it's so important. Let me just show y'all really quick. While I'm pulling this up, Renee, you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so that's I'm just gonna piggyback on what Ty was just saying. I think one of the things that I did very well was I understood the power of the money. And the fact that I'm just a finance and the numbers person, I secured the money first, and which is really AKA reverse wholesaling. So I realized, to me, finding a house was easy to me because I was a realtor, and it just came to me naturally. To me, making sure I had the money first was more important than the house, because houses are everywhere, and buyers not, in my opinion. So to me, I think securing the money, securing the end buyer first, and then you able to co-wholesale everybody else deals. So I think that's one of the things I did very well. I positioned myself as the money, and then everybody deals flocked to me because I was the one able to close because I had instant end buyers. So which is just AKA reverse wholesale, and Ty is absolutely right. It's free. You go out there and find 4 or 5 good buyers. I call them residual buyers. These are buyers that got to buy in order to survive, in order to be successful in their business. And all you have to do is just match them up with properties that you see in your network through other wholesalers. And that's one of the things I probably did 85% of the time. And I made just as much money as everybody else, is not more. And I was okay with not making as much money because I'm able to do more deals. Some people have to, you have to maximize your deal because it's hard for you to find one. To me, my money was endless because I had the money, I had the end buyers. So it was easy for me to go in and just network with other wholesalers and just co-wholesale their deals.
Boom. So quickly, you got $100. All right, there's a 5-day free trial on this. But what I'll do, I'm here on a deal at AK PropStream. All right, so I'm just going to start with a zip code here that I know a lot of transactions occur, right? So 35206 here in Birmingham. All right, so what we'll do here, we'll go to the filter. All right, and so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for properties, actual transactions that have occurred. I'm going to do non-owner occupied, right? And I'm going to do property characteristics, residential, property type, single family, because we're talking about houses, MLS status. I really don't think it really matters. And then owner type. Now, 2 ways of going about this. Now, we can do just individuals and corp. I'm going to do individual and corp on this, right? And so now I'll go back up here to the quick list, which I really don't have to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do cash buyers, right? And what I want here is I want them to say number of properties owned right here. I want them to have owned at least, we'll say 3 properties or more. And I want them have owned it for less than a year, right? Okay, so with those results, it gives me 196 of these, right? So now what I'll do, let's just look at a couple of these. I don't know what we're going to see here, but let's just look at a couple. All right, so on this particular property, all right, these guys are very, very prevalent here. I need to do some business when I keep seeing their names here. I'm going to have to reach out to them. I have to try to find a number for them. But okay, on this particular property, They paid $42,000 for it back in February, and it's actually an active listing now for $129,900. All right, guess what? Right here on the property details is their contact information. I guess I can go knock on the door. In reality, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's an actual cash buyer in this area. And guess what? Look here. This is what I really love about it. Under linked properties, it shows that they own 9 properties right now. Under those, I can click on any of these and look at the transactions. But also what I can tell from this, from the zip code, I can see what other areas they buy in. 35217, that's Hood. 35234, Hood / going into a B neighborhood. They're really killing it over here because this is now, it used to be a $70,000 neighborhood. Now it's in the high 3s or whatever, 4 or whatever. So that's really what they're buying at right now. This 35206, they have that one. And then they have most of the rest of them in the 35234. All right, we'll take a look at another one here. All right, so this one here. All right, these guys. So they paid $89,900 for this property back in January, and now they have it on the. Let me see. It must be a rental because it says $11.95. So I guess it's a rental. But what I like here is the linked properties. They have 6 properties here. So now these guys, they must not be local. Let me see. No, they're not. They're in California. So they own properties all over the country, right? They have in Missouri, Arkansas, here in Alabama, and in Florida. See how powerful that is. $100. Even if you just use this for 1 month, $100 can get you this.
Prop screen is not even $100 is an understatement. The value that prop screen will bring you, just put that in your budget. You know, you need this. This is like MLS for realtors. You need this as an investor. I mean, I've been in the game 15 plus years. This, prop screen is just one of those applications that is just, it blows me away. You know, it's everything at our fingertips. I don't think prop screen should even be. It should be a if or maybe. It should be a must.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I'm a reseller, no question about that. But it's real. I wouldn't know how to show you this stuff if I'm not using it. You know what I'm saying? And I have a video. What I just showed you, I have a more detailed video on it. If you text the word cash to the 205-964-5243, it'll send you that video link, and you can check it out or whatever. But I hope you understood what I just showed you now.
Exactly.
I showed you, I put in a zip code. I put in the minimum requirements. I did that they own 2 properties or more in the last year. And it pulled up nothing but investors. It's going, well, in most cases, it's going to pull up nothing but investors, right? And you can see what they're paying in those areas. You can see they bought it and they put it back on the MLS or whatever. You know, those are investors. Like, I can go knock on the door. I don't have their phone number. I can go, hey, you need some more or whatever. You send them a letter. Send it to them FedEx or UPS. But again, I hope you understand what I just shown you. So again, you want to see that video completely, me going through that A to Z, just text the word cash to 205-964-5243. Next.
Okay. Big Sip _662 on YouTube said, can we get it live on subject to and owner financing? Well,
let me just do this. My man Pace Morby, he has a lot of content out there. He's the subject to expert. He's heavy on Instagram. That's really not my lane. I've done it, but they can go into just much more detail than I can. It's something I've done, but I'm sending you in the direction where you need to be or whatever. He has a lot of free content out there. He does weekly lives. Just all the time or whatever. He puts a lot of good content out there. I wouldn't tell you anything different.
Okay. This one's from Pistol Pete on YouTube. He said, what type of advice or motivation would you give to someone who attempted and failed multiple times at closing a wholesale deal?
Sounds like they're close.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes we give up too early. But one thing I would say about that, I think I like these questions because, one thing you don't have to sell is a roof over somebody's head. So real estate is one of those businesses that it's just going to happen eventually. It's not like you're trying to sell something somebody do not need. You know, real estate is something that everybody needs. So it's almost impossible, to stay at this and not make money because it's just something everyone needs. But I would say this, I mean, I think a lot of people who first started some people is lucky and get their first deal, in the first so many months. But I know people that took them 2-3 years to get a deal. And now it's just coming easy. I think it's one of those things. Are you chasing money? If you're chasing money, you'll get burnt out. But if you understand the power of what you're doing and really create a business and build a legacy, it's going to begin to attract to you and you'll be able to do what you need to do. And sometimes you may, it's like fishing. If I put my fishing rod in a pond that has no fish in it, how can I catch anything? Sometimes, and to be successful, sometimes you just got to put your fishing rod where all the fish at. It's just that simple. It's a numbers game. So I would say, see is there a demand in the area where you're trying to wholesale, and two, don't give up because it's just a matter of time. If you're chasing money, you're gonna get burnt out. But if you see this as a legacy, you see this as something that you're trying to build, something that you could, really build and be able to pass on to your kids, you're gonna keep going until you hit that target. So.
Yeah, Pistol Pete, man. I would like for you to get a little bit more detail when you say you've come close to closing deals multiple times. If you can give us an example of 2, so we can see what may be your issue or whatever. So if you could post that, and Jessica should be able to see it and read it out. See what if you can give us an idea what happened to prevent you from closing out on your deals. And again, guys, make sure you like this. If you like it, it'll go into your library, and you can access it through library and then the video. So you won't have to go back and find any of the videos and the content that we put out. So please like and share.
All right. This one says, how do you know when you are in a seller's or a buyer's market?
Good question. I saw some questions like that of supply and demand. The more supply and no demand, that means the buyers have the control because there's a lot of them out there. I don't need your property. I go to the next person until I find a deal that I want. Yeah. But when there's more demand and there's supply, the sellers are in control because I know, hey, you can skip this deal, but it's not a lot of deals out there. So I have the control. So it's a supply and demand thing that create the seller's market versus a buyer's market.
And it's definitely a seller's market right now.
It's seller's market right now.
Yeah.
And that 2% interest rate creates that market too.
It's forcing people to sell.
Create the demand.
Yeah, it's creating the demand. They're just crazy. But that's a good thing for us, as real estate investors, you know what I'm saying? Because there's just not enough inventory. And most of the inventory and the stats and everything is based on what the real estate agent / broker market is doing. We're sort of like a underbelly of that. You know what I'm saying? Is that we find properties that are not for sale until they either see our message or receive a call or something from us. And they, I'll sell it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like that. It's not actually for sale. So it's like it's not counted. Now, what it turns into, it gets into that funnel that may turn into a fix and flip or whatever. Now it counts in those numbers or whatever because an investor has gotten a hold of it. But we're like the underbelly of that the numbers that you see nationally and they say, well, this or that. And I normally just ignore that stuff because that doesn't affect when someone going through a divorce or whatever. Right. They need to sell a house quick because whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because they were not actively trying to sell it until I reached out to them or whatever. So, or they seen a message of mine. So it's like she said, it's just endless, man. It's just timing, endless, whatever. Like someone, Jessica did a cold call yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or day before yesterday? Day before yesterday. The guy said he's not going to talk to any scammers. So that just means he's gotten other calls about his property or whatever. So whereas he treated Jessica like that, a month from now, he may have stomach cancer. Right. So he needs to sell. I'm not just being ugly or whatever, because he was being ugly to Jessica, so I'm being ugly. He was just real mean or whatever. So anyway, so it's just time, and that's why you just consistently marketing. Yeah, you're doing a lot of the same things that everybody else. Hopefully you're putting your own twist on it or whatever, but it's still just timing at the end of the day. It's just time. You called them in the morning, they hung up on you. I called them in the evening. I'm going out to see the house in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is.
All right.
Competition, but that's a good thing.
Have you guys ever done a deal in Milwaukee?
I haven't.
I closed a loan in Milwaukee.
Boom.
All right. This one's from Walter Davis on YouTube. He said, once you have a seller under contract, does a notary have to be present if you have them sign a memorandum, or can you just have them sign it and take it to be notarized?
I've never had a seller sign a purchase and sales agreement and notarized.
Right.
Trying to sign trying to do a memorandum of contract. You don't need them for that. You just go file it.
Right.
All right.
And don't overcomplicate your deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like it's complicated.
Oh, yeah.
But no, just get them to sign off on it, send it to the attorney, and meet them at the closing table.
That's it.
Let's see. This one says, what formula would you recommend for calculating the ARV?
Well, I think they're confusing ARV. ARV is basically what will the house appraise for in excellent condition.
It's ARV.
They're confusing the, I guess, Mayo formula, if they call it, or whatever. ARV is a part of that formula, but what it simply means is after repair value. What will the house appraise for when it's renovated, when it's fixed up? So you can go to my website.
It's kind of like a formula. You just take the average of 3 similar comps, and it calculates the after repair value.
And if you're looking for a form, just go to my website, dealyoulater.com, and there's a calculator there on the site free that you can use to plug in your numbers.
All right, this one's from Work in Progress 843 on TikTok. They said, what are different creative finance techniques to research off the top of your head?
Well, the common ones are subject to, lease options, what they call them, land contracts, which I guess is the form of that. Those are going to be most known, just creative financing in general. A lot of it depends on what the person owe, if they owe anything, and what terms can be negotiated. So you have to understand it's all about, in a lot of cases, what kind of cash flow can you create from it. If you're trying to hold on to it, it may be a situation where you may want to live in it yourself. But those are the common ones. Subject to, lease options are going to be the common two, and just other forms of creative financing where they're going to hold the actual note on the property. And it depends on what they owe or don't owe on the property. So what are your thoughts, Renikia?
No, I agree. Owner financing, subject to, lease options. Those are all creative ways to get into ownership of real estate. Absolutely. And, when it comes to just money, just raising the money, no matter where it comes from, credit cards, somebody else's car, somebody's savings, bank money, and getting creative that way as well.
All right, Miss Issa, I think I'm saying that right, on Instagram, she said, is New Jersey a good state to wholesale in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. New Jersey's booming. New Jersey's right next to New York. And I feel that a lot of people can't afford kind of New York way of living. New Jersey's right there, and it gives you the best of both worlds. So I think New Jersey is a very hot market.
All right, this one came from YouTube. It says, what to answer when they ask you, where did you get their info from? And you respond, my supervisor gave me a list. Now they want to speak to my supervisor, and they want to know how I found their web page, but I haven't done one deal.
Whenever they ask you, how did you find my number? You say the internet.
Yeah.
Where on the internet? Google.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. That's it. Google.
All of us are traceable on the internet.
Yeah, ain't no question about that. So that's it. You know, you don't want to say a supervisor. No, you're talking to the decision maker. Me.
Absolutely.
Me.
Yeah.
So do you want to sell your house? Okay, I got your number off the internet. Google.
Yeah.
Do you want to sell your house? If
Mhm.
not, thank you for your time. We'll remove you from the list.
That's it.
All right, Michelle McDonald said, "What are the first steps I can take to start out as a beginner wholesaler?"
But say that nicer than what I just said.
Boom. Hey, boom. Confident. That's all that was. That was confident. You trying to sell or not? But
I'm talking all big and bad. I be saying, yes, ma'am.
right. You like,
Oh,
hey,
good
one
boy.
man. Now you really gotta be nice. His chest not checkers.
Yeah. So
You trying to get some from them.
yeah, Eminem, Miss Michelle Donald. What are the first steps I can take to start out as a beginner wholesaler? Which that's the title of this particular Flippinar 182 wholesaling real estate step 1. All right. But we're going to assume that you know you need to educate yourself. So step 1 would be, how are you going to educate yourself? What source are you going to use? It's going to be a paid option, it's going to be free, a combination of both. Okay, well, I'm not the only game in town by no means, but I do give all the information away right here on my YouTube channel, and I guess the other platforms that I post content. So it's up to you. Many others that you'll see combing through my content, you'll see other people that I never even spoke to before until they reached out to me for the most part and said, hey, thank you. I just made X amount of dollars. And I'll say, hey, you want to share your story? And they agree to do it. You know, they're no smarter than you are. I'm pretty sure they've only just taken the information and applied it. Now, one of the biggest issues what most people may have is the patience to educate yourself. If you don't have the patience to educate yourself on free information that can literally make you a millionaire, that's real. You might as well go ahead and do something else. Because in order to get involved in this game of real estate, it takes patience, right? But you're not picking up everyday checks that most people are accustomed to. So it's going to be a little different than what you're used to. You work 2 weeks, you get paid. Work 2 weeks, you get paid. Work 2 weeks, you get paid. In this, you might work, and you get a check 7 months from now. But who knows, that check may be 35 grand. Right. You know, are you going to make 35 grand in the next 7 months? Right. You know what I'm saying? So we like to think it's going to be a lot quicker than that. What I'm saying, you got to have the patience. You know that all of us ain't lying. That's what when I got serious, when I really got my interest struck in this, and the stuff that I was hearing through cards and sheets on the infomercial I was watching, because I had already seen it over the years. But at the end of, after watching 1.5 of those, at the end of it, guess what I said to myself? He can't be lying about all of this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got me out here, you got Max Maxwell, you got Jared Norton, you got Brent Daniels, you got my boy Antonio Edwards, you got Jamil Damji, all these cats out. All of us can't be lying. We're not having a meeting every Thursday and saying, hey, this is what we're gonna tell the people.
Right.
All of us can't be lying. No. So
real.
These are not actors when I do these interviews. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell. These are not actors. These are just everyday people. They found the information, they applied it, and made money. Some of the stories are a lot faster than others. Some of them, it took them some time, 2, 3 years. You know, I'm not saying you just dive into it like that. It might not be your experience or whatever, but life gets in the way. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Or whatever, but this stuff is real. The information is free, so it's totally up to you, Miss Michelle Donald. You can do it. Trust me. I am no smarter than you are. No smarter than you are. I just took some very old information and actually applied it.
Right.
Soapbox.
It's a consistency. It's just a consistency. It's really what makes the sense. You know, you just go out there and you just do it. Do something every day towards that goal, and you're gonna eventually meet it.
Compound efforts. So
education is definitely the first, and from there, you know exactly what to do. Put your signs out, get prop screen.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
All All right, JD_Moore from Instagram said Vulcan versus Mojo versus for dollar and quality lists. I guess he's saying like which one is good.
Batch dollar.
Okay. So none of those.
None of those. Batch dollar.
He said he's a realtor and investor too, by the way.
Oh, that's
right?
what's up, man. I'm glad you joined us. Where are you hitting us up from? What was his name? Jesse? What'd you say his name was?
JD_Moore.
JD_Moore. What market are you in, Playboy?
All right. Let's see. Mike and Ike on TikTok. I think that's how you say it. They said my issue is trying to find the best marketing tool to use on a small budget.
Well, we just said you can build your cash buyers list for basically $100. If you want to know how to do that, just text the word cash to 205-964-5243. I show you in that video how you can build a cash buyers list. And as I said, Renika has been beating this over my head. I finally got it. All right, she can led the horse to the water. Use that list to wholesale other wholesalers' properties or whatever.
Or whatever.
Oh, I use that. I say that too much. Don't
Let them run around and put the signs out. You find the money.
Oh yeah, find the bread.
Find the money.
And you know where the money is, and you know where it's going. You stand in the middle, and you get paid.
Exactly.
I didn't come up with that, but I'll use it.
But that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you can do that on a budget.
Yeah.
JD Moore said he's in California, Central Valley.
Central Valley, California. Okay. You know, we always relate everything to either LA, Sacramento, the Bay Area. So if you're in any of those areas, I don't know what Central Valley is.
I think wholesaling in California is just lucrative.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think you all average wholesale assignment should be 50, 60 out there. Something.
Yeah, that's
it's just
ridiculous.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Envious. That's a word?
Yeah.
Okay. Being jealous, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Hater.
Yeah, we was out there. It was around. That's
Okay. Hater. Me.
All right. Queen Chrissy Marie said, is strictly focusing on pre-foreclosure properties a wise idea? What are you guys' thoughts?
Queen Chrissy Marie. Well, you want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. All right. There are easier deals out there, Queen. Pre-foreclosures. Okay. I hope I don't come off as being negative when I say stuff. I just try to give you the real.
Right.
If you find a pre-foreclosure, and if you don't know what a pre-foreclosure, we just assume people know what these terms are a lot of times, Renika. But if you don't know what a pre-foreclosure is, it's basically someone is behind on payments, and whoever they owe, the bank or lender, whoever, the mortgage company, they've started the actual foreclosure process, but they still own it. The person that's behind on payments still owns, so they're in a pre-foreclosure window. All right. Now, if the house is worth $300,000 fixed up, or it's in already good condition or whatever, worth $300,000, and they owe $280,000, then as a wholesaler, that's not going to be a deal for a cash opportunity unless you go through the short sale process, and hopefully they'll discount it. And if you don't know what a short sale is, that's basically when the person that's behind goes to the lender, the person that they owe, and say, hey, you see, I can't afford this. I have someone that will possibly buy it. Will you discount what I owe you? Right? The problem with that is, or what a problem could be, I'll give you the good result and the bad result. The good result is, yeah, we'll discount that $280 that we owe you down to $170. Okay, we got some, assuming that the repairs are minimal. We got some now. But and that may take them from a month to 4 months just to make a longer, just to give you an answer back on what they will discount it for. Now, if it's a situation, if they say, yeah, we'll discount it. We'll go from, I'm out of water.
I don't know who.
We'll go from, that just can. We'll go from 280 down to 270, and it took 4 months for them to tell you that. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem there. And you spent 4 months just to get that $10,000 discount on something that's not going to be close to a deal. Right. But now we're just talking about wholesaling. That's maybe a possibility to transition that over into a subject to property or a lease option opportunity, even though they owe $280. The payments would have to be caught up and whatever fees are attached or whatever. So, but as a wholesale cash deal, I normally don't pursue those. If they come my way and the equity is already there based on what they owe, based on what it will be worth as far as an ARV, then it's just a regular deal. And just hopefully you have time before it goes to auction to pull the deal off or whatever. But other than that, I don't pursue those because it just can be so time taxing to get a short sale, going through the short sale process. But I understand some people make their entire living on pre-foreclosures and they're very good at it. But you have to be really organized to be juggling multiple pre-foreclosures and the number that you need. So you may be pursuing 10 of them, but only 2 of them close or whatever. So that's 8 of them that your time is being taxed on that won't turn into deals. So you have to just be prepared for that if you're going to go down that road. I don't recommend newbies pursue those. That's one of those that I don't recommend newbies pursue or whatever, because it can frustrate you right out of the business or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I know I said a lot, Renika, but
no, you said exactly what it is. I mean, first of all, I think we think pre-foreclosure means super deals. Yes. Back in maybe 2009, 2010, 2011, pre-foreclosure really meant the deal. But after a while, banks got smart. They started appraising their properties and they started trying to sell it for at least the appraised value. Yeah. So sometimes it doesn't always mean it's a deal. And then there's just a lot of more moving parts when you're dealing with pre-foreclosures, because you cannot do assignment fees. You have to double close it and things of that nature. So, part of it. Right. I wouldn't say it's not a wise idea. I think it's just important to know all your different strategies so you know how to use it when a pre-foreclosure come up. But to just target that, I think, I just think it's just gonna be more time consuming, and also understanding that the banks are smart now. They're not just selling it for way below market value. They really appraising these properties and they really selling them at market value too.
Especially now, like especially the selling market now. Oh, they not that short sale is going to be very.
Yeah, it ain't what it used to be. Pre-foreclosure back in the day when we had that crash. Oh yeah, those were still in deals then. But banks got smart, so it doesn't always. I would say it's wise to just focus on finding a deal, not necessarily pre-foreclosure. This type of deal. Just become wise to focus on finding a deal and understanding all the strategies of finding a deal. So when you approach that situation, you know exactly what strategy to use.
All right. This one's from DJ Cree. He said, "Hey, Ty and team, any tax advice to shelter some of this income? As I understand it, wholesaling income is taxed just like earned income."
CPA. 3 words.
All right. This one says, does the 30% discount fit on any market?
For the most part, but like we were talking about California, you can get away with 20%, maybe 25 or whatever, because it's just so hot and prices escalate. Appreciation escalates faster in markets like that than other markets. But generally speaking, that 30 works in most cases. So.
All right. JD Moore, he said that I guess like where he is in California, it's in the middle between the Bay Area and LA, 2 hours either way.
Oh wow, okay.
See, this one is from EmmaLoon23 on Instagram. They said, what is the best method to determine which zip code / areas to focus on? I'm in Vegas / Henderson, Nevada.
I think that's a good question. I started off, I think if you don't know your backyard, get to know your backyard. You know, I think that's one of the first things, you know, piggybacking on that one, the one lady was like, what the first thing I do as a wholesaler? I think, you know, on top of education is going out, driving around and really getting to understanding your backyard. But one of the easiest and quickest ways to understand your backyard before you start driving is just get with a realtor, you know, and I'm not saying pretending, but, you know, nobody gonna take you around if they know you ain't trying to buy. So you want to actually get with a realtor so they could, you know, tell them that, hey, I'm trying to invest, or, you know, are looking for areas where there's a lot of activity, and realtors know their backyard. So, you know, one of the people that should be in your team anyway is a realtor. So I think those are some of the easiest people to contact, to just kind of put you in the right direction of knowing your backyard. Also just dealing with other real estate other investors in the area. Ask them what areas they think is hot. You know, one thing about us as investors, we always willing to network, talk about what we're doing, you know, whatever the case may be. So I think those are some of the easiest ways to kind of get a better understanding of, you know, which zip codes are hot in your backyard.
All right. Yeah, you can definitely network and do it that way. I'm going to show them a quick way. I think I can do it here. I haven't done it on Zillow in a long time because I use PropStream. That's a paid option. I try to give them some free options to do this stuff or whatever. But I'm gonna share my screen really quick here again, and let me see what we can come up with here. All right, so I'm on Zillow, and let's just do Birmingham. We'll just do Birmingham. That encompasses, and it can get a little tricky on that because you have your outlying cities that make up Metro Birmingham, just using that as an example. So like it says, 429 listings, then 114 other listings. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to go here to sold, right? And then the home type. If you're just looking at houses, you'll deselect everything else, right? And you'll want to go here in this filter right here. And sold in the last, we'll say 90 days. All right, so now it, let me apply that. Let me shrink out here, hold on. All right, I'm trying to get to this filter, how it is. Okay, so done. All right. Trying to do it for the last 90 days. It's not giving me what I want here. Let me search. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Did everything but that. So done. Let me go up here. So that's on sold. And it's supposed to allow me to filter it out in, let me see, in the last 30 days. It's not allowing me to filter it out over the last 90 days, the number of properties. So I know that many properties haven't sold in the last 90 days because it's not changing here. Let me see. Let me say reset all filters. Let me try it again. But basically what I'm doing here, I'm trying to, and it's not participating. Trying to show you how to do this through Zillow really quick. All right, so done and more. All right, so we're gonna try to do the last 90 days. Sold in last 90 days. Moved in ready. Do I have to put a price range in here? I don't think I do. Let's say up to 500,000. What I'm trying to do here is not allowing me to do it though. I wonder, do I need to be signing in on that? Well, what I was attempting to do is through Zillow is to show you the number of properties that are sold just using Birmingham, Alabama, and filter out the actual just houses only, and sold over the last 90 days. But it's not doing, like I said, I hadn't used this in a minute. It's not doing it. So ideally, that's what I was looking for. So I know I can do it through PropStream, but that's a paid option, and I was trying to show you a free way of doing it. So who knows? Next question.
All right. This one's from Marie B on YouTube. She said, "What role does the title company play?"
I mean, title companies, I mean, I use real estate attorneys and not title companies, but title companies are the ones that some title companies just pull title. Most attorneys, real estate attorneys, use a title company to pull their titles. And some title companies also do their real estate closings too. So they pull titles and some of them actually close the property in a transaction as well. Pull and clear title.
All right. Let's see. This one says, this is from DJ Cree. He said, "At one point you mentioned you're planning on getting into multifamily holds. Do you plan on teaching / coaching on those strategies as well, or do you have anyone that you recommend to learn from?"
I'm not sure if I'll ever coach on that. I have no idea. As far as someone I can recommend, just not off the top of my head, I don't. You got anyone, Renika?
Not really. Not on multifamily, but I would say this. I mean, it's no different from having a quad or duplex. I would say don't overcomplicate it. It's the same process as a single family outside of, if you have 10, 20, 30 units, you may want to bring a property management company in and allow them to do the day-to-day operations of your business, or you can hire them from a little while and pretty much begin to learn what they're doing and begin to duplicate what they're doing. But I wouldn't overcomplicate it. It's no different from a single family home. If it's 10 units, it's 10 units. Each one of them got 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1 bath, whatever the case may be. Once you get to a point where you need to, management is overwhelming, bring in a property management company who can help you manage the maintenance, collect payments and things of that nature, makes it a lot easier for you. You look at a 10 unit like a duplex, it's no different. So I would say don't overcomplicate it. It's really very, very similar to owning a single family duplex, a quad, or something like that.
Well, I finally got that to work on Zillow. Let me just show this back really quick again. Let me remove this banner. So basically what I did was I went in and selected sold. I unchecked everything. Well, I thought I did. But houses. And I went in and I selected 30 days and it reduced it down to 714. But ideally what you're doing, you're going in here and you're going to count these by zip code. It's a very tedious process, but what it'll do, and now it has the map here, and you can sort of see just from the map. I'll zoom out on this, on all the transactions. And of course, you can zoom in closer on particular areas that you may personally want to target, but all of these yellow dots are sold properties within the last 30 days or whatever. So that's a way you could do it or whatever. But again, that's a very tedious way of doing it. So you may only want to target a particular area, and then you can just use their draw tool to hone in on a particular area. So food for thought. That's a free way of doing it.
Yeah.
All right, the infamous Lewis on Instagram said, "When viewing a property, should you take pictures or video or both?"
You're already there. Why not do both?
Right. The more pictures and videos you have, the less people that you may need to really, walk through the property because you have detailed pictures and detailed videos. And things of that nature. One thing I realized, the more details you have, the quicker an end buyer can make a decision. And as long as it looks like what your videos and pictures and everything that you posted, I'm putting on the contract without even seeing it, because if it looks like what you gave me, then once I do walk through it, it should be a go. So just detail, give your end buyers all the details. I don't care if it's a whole hole in the roof. Take a picture of it. Because because you don't want anybody putting on the contract and then they get there, they see the hole in the roof, waste 3 or 4 days. So, and things of that nature. So just be detailed with your videos and pictures.
Oh.
All right, this one from Stedman Dublin. He said, I had a local REI group leader say to me that one-page contracts and PropStream don't work in Hollywood, Florida, which is between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Can any one of you guys weigh in, please?
Delete it if his number's in your
What?
Delete it. You talking to
How does it skip over one city and it works for Miami and Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, I know. It's just
it just skips over Hollywood, huh?
Yeah.
Come on, don't a lot of people to overcomplicate what you already know.
Stop talking to these jokers.
Right.
They don't know, man. Instead of them
telling
you
they
don't know, they're gonna give you some bull like that. Stop. We're not making this stuff up, man. I'm not putting myself out here every day, every week. To be
so one page doesn't work. With a 10-page do work? They both say the same thing. One of them just got a lot more fluff in it.
That's it.
All right. Jarrell Bryant on Instagram asks, is there a way to find out if the seller has an outstanding balance on a loan without using PropStream?
Yeah, ask them.
Ask them. Yeah. And they should be truthful about that. I mean, if they don't ask, the attorney gonna ask anyway, because they get the off letter.
Now, if they're trying to find out without just talking to us, so like they might just looking at a property and they're just trying to see if there's a loan or anything on it. Depending on your county's website, sometimes they may have that information. Each one of them is different on how they, make that information available to the public or whatever. That's the only free way I know of doing it. Other than that, you're gonna have to pay one of these tools that shows all of that information or whatever, outside of talking to the seller and then them telling you. Sometimes they really don't know. They just know they got something. They may not know the exact amount or whatever. So I'm not sure what you're trying to do.
Right. And then and look at it like this: regardless if they got a loan on it or not, you run your numbers.
Yeah.
Depending on which side of the fence it falls on, is either a deal or not a deal.
Deal
regardless of what loan on it, I'm only paying this.
Yeah, exactly. And most people are not going to give you a price that doesn't cover what they owe, whether that's loan, unpaid taxes, liens, or whatever. Sometimes they don't know, sometimes, but in most cases they know. So either that price is going to work for you or not, or whatever. Again, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. You have to be a little bit more clear. What are you trying to do? Because that normally has to work. The numbers are either going to work or they ain't. And it's going to come out what they owe, period. Whether they get the right information or close to the right information or totally wrong information, it's going to come out at some point.
Right.
Now, you don't want to be wasting time. I understand that, but I'm just saying most people are going to give you a price that covers what they owe and what they want to make off of that based on what they owe.
Right.
So either that price works for you or it doesn't.
Right. And then don't even think about the loan when you're running your numbers. Run your numbers, because only thing works for you is what works
for you.
For you.
Okay. I guess last one, because Ty's looking like that. This one says, my cash buyer was a no-show at the closing. Said he had an emergency.
Oh no!
Right. Said he had an emergency after hours of trying to get in touch with him. What's gonna happen if he doesn't pay?
Well, number one, you need to be finding another one.
Right.
Hopefully, it's a smoking deal. You got people beating your door down with it. Just talk to the seller. Hey, I'm a funding, my capital partner on this deal. We got to go in another direction. I need X number of time. Again, hopefully it's a smoking deal and you have no trouble finding another buyer or whatever. But that cat, you watch. Stuff can happen. Don't get me wrong or whatever. but they need to communicate with you. This is still
Right.
business. At the end of the day, bills still got to be paid.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's real
So,
business. I had a
yeah.
guy did me like that, and I have never done business again. I mean, he's still out here moving and shaking, but and until we come across and have that conversation, it was 5 years ago. I was mad, like, but at the end of the day, you know, it happened. I ain't like that. Don't have me to the closing table, and you ain't trying to come to the closing table. But you know, and real business is, hey, you know, I messed up. You know, I don't have the money right now. That's how real business should happen. Don't just leave me hanging if you know we out here moving and shaking. But
yeah, it's like you just discussed one of your failures. I had somebody post that said, "Oh, he doesn't never discuss his failures or whatever." Just all I say, you hadn't been watching my stuff,
right,
I think I talk about too many failures.
right.
I had a guy, a joker, strung me on so bad one time. Oh my God! So he just kept saying the money had been wired. The money had been wired.
Oh, not one of them. Oh, I hate dealing with them. They call it money wire. You know that money ain't been wired yet.
Oh my God! I think I actually needed the money at the time too. So he just kept saying, "Oh, strung me up over a week or whatever." Anyway, yeah, man. Hey, boy, it ain't all fluff, but it's worth it.
Right. And if you do decide to do business with them again, hey, you have to remind them, hey, last time you didn't show up, so this time I need $5,000 earnest money. Are you really about that life or not? You know, like that's just what it is.
If you don't want to put it in my hand, okay.
In my hand, exactly.
Yeah, in my hand.
Yeah, you're already in a no-show. You only give people one time to no-show. Next time, and we doing some real business, you're gonna have to come out that earnest money check.
I'm gonna make some money regardless of what happens.
Right.
I only kept the title ain't clear.
And know who you're dealing with, because you could be dealing with another wholesale.
Yeah.
Know who you're dealing with too.
Yeah.
But most importantly, that happens. So that's why you should never not continue to somewhat market or have some type of backup. So there's always never just one person calling you about a deal. So when you do have it on the contract, people continue to call you and say, hey, it ain't closed until it's closed. So I can give you a call back here the next few days. If anything go wrong, and you'll be the first one lined up. So you always have somebody lined up for your deal as well. You know.
Oh yeah.
All right. We'll do one more.
Yeah.
You said one more last time now.
Okay. This one says, I saw a house for sale by owner today. They called and the seller is looking for $720,000. Prop Stream says the average sold comps in the area is $711,000. It has $297,000 balance on the mortgage. Is that a deal?
Ain't a deal. The equity looks like it's there, but he ain't giving it up.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it all depends on. I mean, that house, if I fix it up and it's worth 1.7, 1.8, is a deal.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all relative to all the numbers.
Yeah.
You know, but right now he's over the as-is value. But sometimes that's okay if I know that. Not really. It's never okay. But if I know that it has like a upside to it, if I put 150,000 into it, and I can sell it for 1.5, 1.6, then I may be in the money. But if the after repair value is like 800,000, I wouldn't mess with it. It's too large for a small profit margin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so when you're doing comps, would you recommend that they are exactly like the house you're trying to get under contract, or would it be fine if it has an extra room or bathroom?
Well, there are going to be ranges you can work with, because it's going to be rare houses are exactly alike. You know what I'm saying? It's not that often. So you guys got ranges that you're working with or whatever. Square footage up or down 200 square feet, lot size up or down 2,500 square feet in any direction. Year built, ideally up or down 5 years in any direction. So you're just dealing with ranges. Just go back and watch. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. What are you going to say?
Go back and I have 29 episodes of Comps 101, me and Jamil Demji on those, and that'll give you some good foundation to on what you're looking for.
And to add to that, I was just gonna say, sometimes you may pick up a house that is 2 bedroom, 1 bath, But all the homes that's been renovated around there is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And basically what they did was add a bedroom and a bathroom to it so they can maximize their comps. So, you know, that could be a case too. And if I ever have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath per se, I will always add a bed in the bathroom, because 3-bedroom, 2-bath is 10 times easier to sell than a 2-1. When you're talking about maximizing your profitability on the back end, or whatever the case may be. So, but things like that can, like Todd said, can be adjusted down. You know, sometimes for a bathroom, you adjust $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. But things like that can be adjusted down to what it is that you're trying to do. But you don't want to be a 2-bedroom, 1-bath in the neighborhood, and everything in the neighborhood is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You kind of want to realize that, you know what, everyone have added square footage to these properties so they can maximize profitability. I may want to do the same thing. So.
Okay, how do you do comps in a non-disclosure state?
Well, either you're going to have to get with a real estate agent or get you a subscription of PropStream or Batch Leads, because it'll pull up MLS data in pretty much any market. And there you go.
All right.
You can access both of those through dealulator.com. So, guys, we've been running pretty good here, hour and 21 minutes and counting. Renikia, before we get out of here, anything you want to share? I'm sorry. Let them know who you are, baby girl.
Well, as always, I'm super thankful to be a part of the Flip Man Show, and thankful for just being here every Thursday to just share my knowledge and my expertise. And of course, you all know that I am, you know, the capital lady. I'm all about helping you all be able to finance your real estate deals, or just get extra money so you can buy into PropStream, buy the tools and resources that you need to take your real estate business to the next level. And if you're interested in you know, creative financing, gap funding, real estate funding, fix and flip funding, buy and hold, new construction, commercial development funding, if you're interested in any of that, just go to findmynextdeal.com.
Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah. So we appreciate everyone showing up today. Make sure you like the video. Again, if you like a video of mine, you're building a slow library of each video that you like that you can access through your library. Then scroll down to your liked videos. Please like it and share it. Anything you need, you can text to 205-964-5243. I released a new video today, Who Owns That Vacant House? So if you text me, I'll gladly send you the link, or you can just do a search for Flip Man, Who Owns That Vacant House, real estate, wholesale and real estate tool, and that video will go into it. That cash buyer tip that I showed you, to text the word cash to the 205-964-5243, and you'll see that particular video. So again, we really appreciate everyone showing up. This evening, we're back. Show 182, this week's Flippinar. We really appreciate Renikia and Jessica sharing their time. Again, AP should be back next week. And as we always like to say, we'll see you guys on the flip side. Old school.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Yeah.